Hello everyone, this is Book Club Preview, and I'm Michael. Today we're looking at the Penderwicks At Last. This is the last book in the Penderwicks series, and if you have followed the series, you might have guessed that this is Lydia's story. And so chapter 1 is called Dancing at the Bus Stop, and we find that Lydia is a dancer. She loves dancing. That's her passion. And we saw in the last book that Lydia was always dancing around and singing when she was just a little girl. And the story starts, Lydia's at a bus stop and she's just dancing around while she's waiting for the bus with their two dogs, Sonata and Feldspar. We kind of learn that that Lydia is like 12 years old now. It's been about 10 years since the last Penderwick book, so a lot has happened. Batty is in college now, if you can believe that. She goes to school in Boston, and Lydia is at the bus stop waiting for her. Batty arrives at the bus stop, and when Batty gets out, she first sees the dogs and gives love to the dogs, and then she sees Lydia and hugs Lydia, and then Batty starts to sing and Lydia starts to dance, and they just walk back home. Batty is studying music, vocal music, I believe, at university. And she does kind of have a boyfriend, that some guy that's thinking about leaving and going to California or something, an artist, I guess. But they walk toward the house, and Jane sees them and stops, and they start talking, and we learn that Jane is in her own apartment, and Rosalind is in her own apartment, and Rosalind is dating Tommy, and so much is going on. Sky is in California studying astrophysics or astronomy. She's getting her PhD now, and Rosalind comes to the house because everyone is kind of coming over to see Batty. And Rosalind has some news. She won't tell us what the news is. The family guesses it has something to do with Tommy and the wedding, but or maybe getting married, but no one knows. And Rosalind won't say anything, even though Lydia and Ben try to trick her into sharing some different things. Well, some vocabulary words in this chapter are this expression. The first one is the expression embodiment of. Now, Lydia's dad, Mr. Penderwick, he says she's the embodiment of the music, maybe, or dance. I can't remember exactly how he says it. But this means that if music or anything became a person and you acted that way, you become the embodiment of it. And we can use this for many different things. We can say the embodiment of science. Maybe you have a really smart friend who just loves science, and they don't have many emotions, or they don't talk about emotions, and everything is about facts and science. And you can say, oh, this person is the embodiment of science. If science became a person, it would just look like them. Or if this person was like the god of science, it would look like this person. We can say embodiment of anger, embodiment of love, many different things. Just these different aspects, and people showing the best example of that aspect. Pretensions. This is saying that you have something, or that you have authority to say about something. It's kind of a hard word. We don't really use it that often. But in our story, Lydia, it's talking about Lydia, and it says she doesn't have any pretensions to beauty, meaning she doesn't have any claim on beauty. She's not that pretty, is what it's saying. She doesn't have any authority or right to say she's beautiful. It's a really tough word to use in different circumstances. But in our story, that's kind of what it's trying to say. That Lydia knew she's not beautiful, and she didn't try to claim that she was beautiful. And the last one is solidarity. And solidarity is like unity, joining together to become one. And in many times in the story, in chapter 1 and chapter 2, they use this idea of solidarity, of agreeing with someone to be with them, or showing some emotion to show that you are with them, that you are together, some solidarity. A discussion question I would like to ask you is, so far in chapter 1, what has been the most shocking news? Okay, it's been 10 years since we last heard about the Penderwicks. What is just blown you away that you can't believe in this story? I want to know about it. And the last one is, please make your own discussion question. If you can, write it in the comments, but if you don't have time, at least think of one and write it down. So that way when we have our discussion group, we can talk about it together. Well, this is all the time that we have today. Thank you so much for joining me for another book club preview. Bye-bye. Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.